Welcome back. All right, 6 games tonight, a lot of overtime, and we've already been seeing just 2 days into the schedule after the All Star break. And there's not a lot to choose in a lot of these games. These games are getting kind of close. So, this is why for teams that fall behind early in the season, it gets really difficult to catch up when everybody ahead of you ends up getting points. We're going to start off talking about Colorado and Pittsburgh. And this was a game that Colorado had, and then they just seemed either okay. So either this is the Avs running out of gas, or it's Pittsburgh just picking up their game, or it's a combination of both. You guys can let me know what you thought in the comment section below. So it's Francouz versus DeSmith. Rodriguez has a shot that saved. The Avs press. A nice net drive by them as well at 2.5 minutes. Shots are 5-0 for Colorado 5 minutes into this. They were all over Pittsburgh. Pedersen, Petrie fired wide as the Penguins had a brief press there, but the shots are 7-0 at the half, so they don't get anything on the net. Rodriguez fires one wide as the Avs press. McKinnon then had a rush chance that was saved. Gensel has a shot deflect wide. There's a near miss for Letang. The Avs clear it out. Raquel fires one wide as the Penguins press. Gensel's then denied in the last minute on a 3-on-2. But after the first period, it's scoreless, even though Colorado had a wide edge really in the play in that period. Second period, Lehkonen got hurt on a shot block. Looked like it was his foot, but he does come back into the game. The Avs press at 2 minutes. McKinnon is denied on a rush. Makar has a shot that's blocked. The Penguins clear it out. The shots are 9-3 Colorado at 7.5 minutes. This is right around where Lehkonen comes back as well. McKinnon has a rush chance saved. Taves had a net feed. That was picked off. Teams then exchange rushes. Penguins get a power play. Gensel fires one wide from the slot. That would be killed off. And then on a beast mode goal, no other way to put it, McKinnon gets the goal from Byram and Girard at 10:21. So Bowen Byram back in the lineup, and he gets an assist his first game back. The Avs then get a power play. That's killed off. Gensel has a wraparound that's saved. Another power play for the Avalanche. That's killed off as well. And then the Penguins get some pressure after it ends. But after 2 periods, it's 1-0 for Colorado. They had outshot Pittsburgh by a pretty healthy margin through 2 periods, but it's only a 1-goal lead. Third period, Kapanen has a shot that's caught and held. The early jump is for the Penguins. However, the Colorado Avalanche are leading in shots 4-1, 5.5 minutes in. Kapanen then has a wraparound that's saved. The Avs end up drawing a power play. McKinnon has a blast that's blocked. That's killed off. Then there's a near miss for Rust on a fast break, and this is where Pittsburgh really starts to take over the game. They would press with 6.5 minutes left. Rust was denied. Dumoulin has a rush chance that's saved. Francouz is the only reason this is 1-0 at this point. And then at 16:22, it becomes 1-1. They just gave Pittsburgh so many opportunities. It's Rust from Malkin and Zucker. Then there's a press by the Penguins with 2.5 minutes left. And as this got to overtime, it just looked like Colorado was kind of gassed. But to start the overtime, McKinnon has a shot that's blocked. There was a goal line stand on Letang. It was initially called a goal on the ice, but you could tell on the first replay that puck didn't fully cross the line. The Avs get a power play. There's a timeout called. Rantanen has a one-timer that's saved. It's cleared out. Then there's a post for McKinnon. That's killed off. And then Pittsburgh wins it. And it's Letang from Crosby and Malkin at 3:36. Very dramatic comeback victory for Pittsburgh. They win this one 2-1. They go to 25-16-9. Colorado 27-18-4. They'll be glad to at least get a point out of this, but they'll be thinking about how they don't get that second point. Shots in this one, 12-6 Colorado in the first, 16-10 Colorado in the second, 18-10 Pittsburgh in the third, 4-3 in the overtime for the Penguins as well, including the shot that matters. Final shots, 42-38 for Colorado. Power plays, the Avs 0 for 4, Pittsburgh 0 for 1. The hits, 38-21 Pittsburgh. Francouz saves 36 out of 38. DeSmith saves 41 out of 42. So, dramatic game, fun game. Didn't need a whole bunch of goals to be that way either. All right, next up, San Jose. The Sharks in against the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's Kakkonen versus Elliott in this one. Remember, Vasilevsky got kind of beat up last night, so he gets the night off tonight. Gregor has a net feed that's picked off, and then at 2 minutes and 10 seconds, on a good forecheck, and Kakkonen's just caught out of position, Colton scores one from Bogosian. So it's an early lead for the Tampa Bay Lightning 2 minutes into this. Bolts then draw a power play. Hedman's stick died on a slot shot. Sergachev has a shot deflect high. That's killed off. Shots are 6-2 Tampa at 5.5 minutes. The Sharks, though, they get a power play and they score on it. It's Carlson with his 17th of the season from Meyer and Hurdle at 6:28. He wires that one from the point. That was only the third shot of the game for San Jose as well. Lindblom then nearly adds one, but the Bolts would draw a power play. They would score on theirs as well. It's Braden Point giving Tampa Bay back the lead from Kucherov and Hedman at 9:21. He buries that one on a nice zone entry by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Perbix then has a shot deflect wide. The Bolts are in charge at this point in the game. Tampa Bay presses with 7 minutes left. Eventually they had another one. At 16:44, it's Point with a second goal in a row from Sergachev and Kucherov. The Sharks would press to close it out, but it's 3-1 Tampa after one. And it looks like this one could be ugly, which, again, considering where Tampa is in the standings, where San Jose is, makes some sense. But what have I said of San Jose? They like to make sure I watch more of their hockey, right? So second period, they get to that. An early power play for Tampa Bay, that's killed off. Pressed by Tampa Bay at 5 minutes. They would go back to the power play. That's killed off as well. The Sharks then rush. A really good penalty kill tonight by San Jose, which isn't really a surprise. They've had excellent penalty killing for years. Sturm's denied and close. Elliott holds on. The Sharks get a power play. Things get punchy after an Elliott hold. Bolts come out with a power play. That's killed off. The Sharks, they get one as well, and they score on theirs. It's Timo Meier on the power play from Barabanov and Couture at 16:23. Stamkos would answer with a goal, but the offside challenge showed that it was in fact offside, so that goal does not count. Myers then denied and close. The Bolts clear, but after 2 periods, it's 3-2 for Tampa. Third period, Meier has a net drive that's held, and then San Jose ties it. It's Harrington from Carlson at 3:08, and then the Sharks look for the lead. So really strong start to the period for San Jose. Bolts, though, they do press back. They press at 5 minutes. Shots are 6-4 for Tampa Bay at 6.5 minutes. Cole has a turnover opportunity. That's held. The Bolts get a power play. They're not really able to set it up until late. They have a late cycle there, but that's killed off. Pressed by the Bolts with 5 minutes left. Points denied. Fires the rebound wide. He had an open net there. Could not hit it. We're going to overtime because extra San Jose hockey is kind of the way this works now. So San Jose came into this one 2-6 in overtime. Tampa Bay was 5-0 in overtimes coming into tonight. Sharks control early. Gregor then broke up a 2-on-1. And then Meier tips one in from Carlson at 2:19. So for Meier, that's the second goal of the game. And it's your game winner. The final score is 4-3 for San Jose. They go to 16, 25, and 11. With the overtime loss, Tampa Bay 32, 16, and 2. So for Toronto, no real pressure underneath them as Tampa Bay gets 1 point over their 2 games between Florida and now at home against San Jose, and that 12-game home winning streak is over. The shots in this one, 17-7 Tampa Bay in the first, 7-5 San Jose in the second, 15-7 Tampa Bay in the third. San Jose gets the only shot of the overtime. That's all they needed. Final shots are 37-22 for Tampa. Power plays, San Jose 2 for 3, Tampa Bay 1 for 6. Hits 35-20 San Jose. Kakkonen saves 34-37. He needed a start like that. And Elliott saves 18 out of 22. So for Tampa Bay, this is not the kind of start to things after the All-Star break they were looking for. And now they'll need to figure things out before their next game. All right, next up, the Oilers in Detroit. So this was Campbell against Husso. Jack Campbell is quietly recovering from a really bad start to the season. And it is happening so quietly. People are talking about Skinner and how well he's played. And I'm still seeing complaints about the Campbell contract. But Campbell's been playing better lately. So good early back and forth. Broberg has a tip shot that's saved as the Oilers press. The shots are 3-0 in their favor at 5 minutes. We would then see a change in momentum not long after. Sider has a slot shot that's saved. Fabry's denied and close as the Wings cycle. And then Bertuzzi buries a rebound. Raymond and Larkin with the assists at 10:23. Suddenly it's 1-0 for Detroit. Oilers try to answer. The shots, though, are 6-4 for the Wings with 8 minutes left. So they had 6 of the last 7 shots at that point. The Wings draw a power play. Post for Berggren, and Sundqvist is denied. That power play is killed off. The Oilers press with a minute and a half left. But after the first period, it's 1-0 Detroit. Second period, early press by the Wings. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. During that, McLeod would score. From Broberg and Kane at 3:02, and good patience by McLeod outweighs the goaltender and wires it. And then, 36 seconds later, Foegele wires one or buries it on a rush. Nugent Hopkins with the assist. So that makes it 2-1 for Edmonton. They suddenly have a lead. Emotions are ramping up. The Wings get a power play. That's killed off. Wings press at 8.5 minutes. They actually hemmed the Oilers in pretty well there. Suter has a shot that's blocked. The Oilers would clear it out. We went over 5 minutes between whistles in that period of the game as well. The Oilers had a 2-on-1 that fizzled out, but they press afterwards, and Warren Foegele gets the second goal of the second period from Desharnais and Broberg at 11:55, and it's a screenshot that deflects in. So Broberg on the board a couple of times. He had a good game. Power play for the Oilers. Lalonde was not happy with that power play. If you look at the replay, it shouldn't have been called. Hyman falls down after the play. There was determined to be a penalty. So I totally get why Lalonde was upset. Detroit does kill it off, and then with 9 seconds left, Veleno makes it a little bit closer. He scores from Seider and Wallman, so after 2 periods, it's 3-2 in favor of the Oilers. Third period, Wings start with a full power play because of shenanigans at the horn. Aggressive penalty kill does kill that off, though. Foegele then fires one wide on a rush. He was going for the hat trick. Wings press at 5 minutes. The pushing and shoving is picking up on almost every whistle. Shots are 3 apiece at 6.5 minutes. The Oilers get a power play. Kubalik's denied. There's some pushing on that. We get a Wings power play. There's power plays all over. Raymond has a shot that's held. There's more pushing. Power plays killed off. The Oilers then get one and they score on it. It's Nugent Hopkins from Barrie and McDavid at 15:38. Wings then get a power play with 2:53 left. They call a timeout. They also pull the goaltender to make it 6-on-4. Which allows Evander Kane to hit the empty net for what's also a shorthanded goal from Kulak at 17:33. So the Oilers go into Detroit. They win this one 5-2. They go to 29-18-4 with the win. Detroit 21-20-8 with the loss. This loss, combined with other wins on the board, pushes Detroit further out of the playoff picture. Shots in this one, 10-9 for Detroit in the first, 12-8 Detroit in the second, 10 apiece in the third. Final shots 32-27 for the Wings. Power plays, Edmonton 1 for 4, Detroit 0 for 5. Hits 20-16 for Edmonton. Campbell saves 30 out of 32. Husso saves 22 out of 26. And yeah, there you go. The Oilers, big win for them. And for the Wings, we're getting into better luck next year territory, but we've been there for a while. Seattle, they were number 1 in the division. That, based on tonight's results, no longer the case. But the Islanders, they are really in the running now, and I find it kind of odd. So when the Horvat trade happened, I saw a lot of, well, they're not going to make it. They're not going to make it. When you look at the Islanders' record, they had a really bad January. The record's been good outside of January. We're no longer in January. So it's Jones versus Sorokin. Sorokin is a wall. He will not allow this team to fall very far out of a playoff spot, even when they're not playing well. Kraken press at 2 minutes. The Islanders had the lone shot on net, though, 4 minutes in. Kraken press at 6 minutes. Dunn has a screenshot. That's held, and the shots are 5-1 in favor of the visiting team, 6.5 minutes into the period. Beniers has a 2-on-1 chance. That saved. Bailey then's denied on a rush, and then Bolduc gets his first NHL goal. It's on a face-off win. He gets it from the point. Mayfield and Nelson with the assists at 7:59. I believe they said that's point number 100 for Mayfield as well. Pollock then fires one wide as the Islanders seek another. There's a post for Barzal as well. Cizikas with a one-timer. That saved and held. Parisi had a wraparound that was held as well. Seattle presses with 6.5 minutes left, but the Islanders would go up 2-0. It was Holmstrom from Pajot at 18:29. So after the first period, it's 2-0 for the Islanders. Second period, early jump for the Isles, and eventually they get another goal. It's Pajot from Parisi and Pelech at 3:38. And then, after a face-off win by Horvat, he gets it. Barzal with the assist at 5:08. These guys are now going to be together for quite some time. Bringing in Horvat means Barzal moves to the wing, and it looks like it works. This is Horvat's goal, and guess what? It's kind of a tip, kind of a shot, but it is a Horvat goal. Stand at the side of the net, bury it when you get the chance, and so that's his 32nd of the season, his first as an Islander. Again, good luck to him. Kraken press to answer. There's some Horvat chants from the crowd. Good on you, Islander fans. Way to make him feel welcome. It's been a rough year for Horvat. Legit. Kraken press to answer during that. And then the shots are 6-3 for the Islanders at 6.5 minutes. 2 of those have gone in the net, of course. Cizikas has a net feed, near miss there. 11 shots for Seattle halfway through this game. 11. It was just remarkable how well the Islanders were defending at this point in the game. Strong forecheck by the Islanders as well. They would press with 5 minutes left. Power play for the Kraken, that's killed off. Done that at a last-minute rush chance. That was saved. It's 4-0 after the second period. Third period, shots are only one apiece at 2.5 minutes, so shot suppression is a thing when you're the Islanders and you're defending a lead. Viewers are going to be like, we can feel his throat getting drier as he speaks. So the shots are 2 apiece at 9 minutes. This is as Islanders as an Islanders game gets. Not a lot going on at this point, which is by design. A lot of shot blocking. Yes, Seattle's getting into the zone. Are they getting dangerous chances? Not really. And if they do, it's Sorokin. It's a wall. So, Fasching as a net feed that's caught and held. The Islanders pressed with 5.5 minutes left. Geekie had a shot that was caught and held. He had a few good opportunities in that third period. Bjorkstrand as a net feed, that's cleared out with 3:20 left. The Islanders get a power play. That's killed off. However, that means there's 2 more minutes off the clock. And the Islanders bring this one home. They win 4-0, so the Tony the Tiger Magnet's on the board tonight. The Islanders go to 27, 22, and 5. They keep pace with the Pittsburgh Penguins, but they also get closer to the Washington Capitals. For Seattle, 29, 16, and 5 with the loss in this one. So the shots, 9-8 for the Islanders in the first, 13-11 Seattle in the second, 11-8 Seattle in the third. Final shots, 32-28 for Seattle. Both teams go for 1 on the power play. So, this is an Islanders game. There are almost no power plays here. There are long stretches without a whistle. And not very many shots for long stretches, too. It's Islanders hockey. The hits, 31-25 for Seattle. Martin Jones saves 24-28. Sorokin saves all 32 shots for his 15th career shutout in only his 110th start. So, it is a remarkable amount of shutouts this guy gets considering how many starts he's had. And yeah, this is what's going to keep the Islanders relevant and in the hunt. All right, now Vegas. The Vegas Golden Knights in against Nashville. This was a rough one for Nashville and kind of a perfect road game by Vegas. And as the announcer said, and I was watching the Nashville feed for this, this is an example of how the All-Star break can make a big difference. Nashville was on a roll. They didn't really want the break when it happened. Vegas desperately needed the break, and this game tonight kind of switches narratives. Hill versus Saros, the shots are 1 apiece at 2.5 minutes. Pressed by Vegas 3 minutes in. The Predators, though, turning the puck over. And you've got to watch those turnovers against any team in Vegas with their transition game. It can be dangerous. Duchesne would open the scoring, though. It was a tic-tac-toe play, and he wires it on only the second shot on net on Adin Hill, who might have been shaky, but we'll never know. Yossi and Forsberg with the assists at 5:04, and I say we may never know because once we get into the shots at the end of this, you guys will see what I'm talking about. Amadio ties it less than a minute and a half later at 6:27 from Smith and Carlson, and then 27 seconds later, Yossi, not a very Yossi-like turnover, puck goes to Carrier, and he gets the unassisted goal to make it a 2-1 game. And the shots are 7-3 for Vegas at 7.5 minutes, and at 11:58. More puck control issues by Nashville lead to a goal for Vegas. On a rush, it's Kessel from Carrier and Stevenson. So Kessel with his 10th goal of the season. Kudos to him for that. Vegas is breaking up passes. So the turnovers, the aggressive defense by the Vegas Golden Knights making a big difference. Preds draw a power play. That's killed off. They would press in the final minute as well. They don't generate very much here. There were 3 shots for Nashville at 7.5 minutes. They had 1 shot the rest of the period. Second period, 2 minutes and 58 seconds in. Stevenson buries his own rebound from Theodore and Kessel, makes it 4-1. Saros wanted a goalie interference challenge. I don't think they would have got that goal overturned. So it's odd to see a goaltender protesting for a challenge and a coach not giving it to them, but it was probably a wise decision there because I don't think it would have been overturned. From Saros' perspective, definitely looked like goalie interference, but it was his own guy that caused it. So, shots are 4-0 for Vegas at 6 minutes. The first shot for Nashville wasn't until 9 minutes in, and it's Yossi that gets it. So this is a rough one if you're a Nashville fan. Duchesne then had a rush chance to deflect wide. Johansson has a net feed. That's picked off. Vegas gets a power play. Sissons has a stick break. And so it's briefly 5-on-3.5, but they do kill that off. 3:05 left. Vegas goes back to the power play. Sisson's stick broke again during that one, and they survived it. That's killed off. Um, Note to Sissons, you need to maybe go to the wooden sticks. Maybe it's time. They don't break nearly as often. So after 2 periods, the score is 4-1 for Vegas. They're in complete and total control. Again, we'll get to the shots in this because it's remarkable. Third period, Predators are still not getting shots. The shots are 2-0 for Vegas, 6.5 minutes in. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Eichel fires one wide on a rush. The first shot for Nashville isn't until the 9-minute mark again. So at this point, they start getting shots. But now what you've done is you've created a situation where a goaltender that was shaky 5 minutes into the game has had a nice break. He's got a huge lead, and he's confident and he's relaxed. Because if he allows one, he's okay. And there's a total difference between that and a goaltender that's kind of fighting it in an early game or an early portion of the game where the score is a lot closer. So Nashville presses with 7.5 minutes left. That was after Carlson was denied on a 3-on-1 for Vegas. Preds get their 10th overall shot 53 minutes into the game. So this is really showing you Nashville just was not getting shots. Most of the play is at Vegas's end, but there weren't very many shots until later. 3:04 left. They pulled the goaltender as they were getting a power play to make it a 6-on-4. 2:03 left. Nashville calls a timeout, so only a minute into the power play. But Pietrangelo would get the empty netter from Hill at 19 minutes after they'd finished killing off that penalty. So the final score is 5-1 for Vegas. They go to 30-18-4 with the win. Nashville, this one hurts. 24-19-6 with the loss. The shots in this one, 12-4 Vegas in the first, 10-2 Vegas in the second. So the shots were 22-6 after 2 periods in favor of Vegas. In the third, Nashville does manage 11 shots to the 8 for Vegas. Final shots 30-17 for Vegas. Those shot totals kind of flatter Nashville. Power plays, both teams go 0-for-2. The hits 24-14 for Nashville. Hill saves 16 out of 17. Saros saves 25 out of 29. There's not much Saros could have done in this one, though, because you can't skate down to the other end of the ice and get shots. I just picture him standing behind the guys going, hey, so before this face-off in my end, can you get a shot? No, can any of you get a shot? Do we need Borowiecki out here to get a shot? All right, that being said, moving along, last game of the night. Anaheim in against Chicago in a game that it didn't look like either team wanted to win. I mean that. It did. I thought to myself, I know teams don't tank. The players on the ice don't tank. But, man, we would like to see you. No, after you. No, I insist. You first. So, Stolarz versus Mrazek in this one. The Ducks had the lone shot on net 3.5 minutes in. McCabe then has a blast that's held. Grant had a rush chance that was saved. Lafferty fires one wide on a 3-on-2. Then there's a near miss for Athanasiou. Shots are 5-3 for the Ducks with 8.5 minutes left. We get a 4-minute Ducks power play, but that becomes 2 minutes of 4-on-4. I think it's Lafferty draws a penalty there to make it a 4-on-4. Strong forecheck by the Hawks. Everything's killed off there. So it's scoreless after one. Early in the second, Dickinson scores from Kane at 1:36, and the Hawks were the better team at this stage. They were leading in shots 4-0 5 minutes in. Mrazek holds with Comtois on the doorstep, and then Leeson scores from Klingberg and Magna at 8:25, so that ties the game. It does not stay tied for that long. At 13:09, Seth Jones scores on a rush from Dickinson and Johnson. That lead doesn't last very long either. Magna would score from Leeson at 15:42. Leeson with a really good game. Late in this game, Anaheim was playing their fourth line quite a bit, but I kept thinking you guys might not want to call it the fourth line since it's playing that much. They're kind of the second line right now. So 2:14 left. The Hawks get a power play. Tyler Johnson's denied. The Ducks cleared out. They did put microphones in Johnson's face and ask him about the fact he didn't get a goal. Not sure what they asked him. He was gracious about it and said, they'll go in next time, but still. So that's killed off, and so we go to the third period tied at 2. Early press by the Hawks. There's a power play by Chicago. That's killed off. Shots are 3-1 for the Hawks at 4.5 minutes. Comtois has a wraparound chance that saved. There was a post for Zegras. The Ducks press. Both posts got a workout tonight in this one. Max Jones had a rush chance that was defended. There's a Hawks press with 8.5 minutes left, and they pinned down the Ducks pretty well. Dickinson's denied Stolar's holds. Kachuk tips one high. It's all Hawks. And then it just kind of stopped. I want to say the last 3 or 4 minutes of this game in the third period, it was just trying not to make a mistake. It was that really defensive shell. Send one forechecker. Everybody play back. Both teams were very reserved, playing for overtime. And I thought, if this continues in overtime, I might lose it. Because if a team doesn't go out there to win it, I might lose it. It is this odd thing I've noticed in the NHL this year. I was talking about this in Anaheim. That it is bizarre to me when I see two teams and neither one's playing for the win. Now, I understand to get the point in overtime. But I really don't understand in overtime when neither team seems to be playing to win it. And I've seen that where they just play to the shootout. And it's like, I find this baffling in soccer and in hockey. It is now in two different sports. So in the overtime, the Ducks control it early. The Hawks then had a 2-on-1 that misfired, to which I might have said, of course. Domi has a shot deflect out, but then at 2:15, Vetrano decides he's had enough of this, and he scores. He just goes around Mrazek, puts it in the net. Lundestrom and Klingberg with the assists. So for Frankie, I think that's his 12th goal of the season. Good on him. Your final score is 3-2 for Anaheim. Somebody won. They go to 17, 29, and 6 with the win. With the loss, Chicago 15, 29, and 5. The shots in this one, 9-6 Anaheim in the first, 12-8 Chicago in the second, 11-8 Chicago in the third. Anaheim got the only shot on net in the overtime. That's all they needed. Final shots, 29-26 for Chicago. Both teams go over 2 on the power play. Hits were 21-15 Chicago. Stolars, good game. 27 saves on 29 shots. Mrazek was pretty good too. 23 saves on 26 shots overall. So before the Vetrano goal, he had saved 23 at 25. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. And yeah, my voice is really not liking this talking for this long. I think I got used to not doing this. But anyways, yeah, let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.